Hey guys, it's Kyle Thompson here with eXp Realty, bringing you another monthly market update. And this week we're going to be focusing on detached homes. Let's dive right in. All right, starting off big picture. Last month we had 194 new listings, 57 new sales. The average list price was $794,358. The average sale price was $778,521. The average sale price to list ratio was 98.14. Average days on market was 39.35, and we ended the month with an inventory of 341 units. Now let's jump over and take a look at the market conditions. As always, I like to use both the monthly supply of inventory method as well as the sales to new list ratio, as I find using both measures gives a more complete picture of what's going on in the market. With that said, last month using the monthly supply of inventory method, we came in at 4.35, which puts us into a neutral market. If we use the sales to new list ratio instead, we came in at 29%, which puts us into a buyer's market. Now, let's jump over and take a look at the active inventory last month. In March, we had a big spike of new listings, rising from 124 in February up to 194 in March. New sales also ticked up from 50 to 57. However, that is still quite low. Just for comparison, in March of last year, we had 77 units sold, which is about a 26% difference. If we go with expireds instead, we see that last month expireds fell from 17 down to 16, and this is the fewest amount of expired listings per month over the last 12 months. And the benchmark price for a detached home in Kamloops rose about 15,100 from 652,700 up to 667,800. Now let's take a look at the end of month inventory. In March, we ended the month with an inventory of 341, which is the highest going back to 2018 for this time of year, and is about 8% higher than the 10-year average of 315. If we look at new listings instead, we see that so far year to date, we've had 450 new listings, which is the highest amount this year to date, going back to 2021. And currently we are about 6% above the 10-year average of 426. If we look at units sold instead, we see that so far year to date, there's only been 157 new units sold, which is the lowest amount over the last 10 years. And currently we are sitting about 33% below the 10-year average of 235 units. Now let's jump over and take a look at the sales dashboard, starting off with the average sale price. This table is measuring year-over-year changes, so a full year over a full year. And when looked at that way, prices are up 2.71%, rising from 763,972 up to 784,655. Most areas are up on the year, but the areas that are up the most are Sun Peaks, Sun Rivers, Dufferin, Pinatan, Heffley, Monty Lake, and Paul Lake, all with at least 10% increase in prices. Now let's take a look at the sale to list price ratio. So all this is a measurement of how much properties are selling below the list price. So it's a good measurement of how much negotiating room you have when you are the buyer. Currently, last month, we came in at 98.14, which is about 1.3% higher than the month prior, which is actually a big move. And this is the highest number we've had over the last 12 months, meaning that there is less room to negotiate on average when you are the buyer. Now, let's take a look at the sale by sub area. Once again, this table is measuring full year over a full year. And when looked at that way, sales are essentially flat. We're down 0.32%, falling from 948 down to 945. This one is a bit of a mixed bag, so if you would like to take a closer look, go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to move on to days on market, starting off with the 10-year. So far, year to date, it's taken an average of 47 days for detached homes to sell, which is about 3% below the 10-year average of 49 days. If we look at the trailing 12 months instead, we see that last month we had a huge drop in days on market, falling all the way from 46 down to 39. And currently we are sitting about 20% below the 12-month average of 49 days. Finally, let's take a look at days on market by sub area. Once again, this is full year over full year. And when looked at that way, it's taking about 6% longer for properties to sell. Currently, the fastest selling areas of town are Westmont, Sahalee, and Dufferin, all with an average days on market of less than 40, whereas the areas taking the longest to sell are Paul Lake, Sun Peaks, and Red Lake, with a average days on market ranging anywhere from 94 up to 158 days. That's all we have for today. I really hope that you guys are continuing to get value out of these market updates. If you are, consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel. And as always, if there's ever anything that you guys want added to these market updates, or maybe something that needs to be more thoroughly explained, please feel free to leave your suggestions in the comment section below, or reach out to me directly, and I will do what I can. I appreciate you taking the time, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.